Bitcoin and Ethereum. What's his next dump? Let's find out in the charts here, shall we? Oh boy, we're going to talk about all this volatility and what it all means and what are we looking for the win in today's episode, and the fact that, hey, you know what? Some people might be right. The Bitcoin is gonna go to...
Bitcoin is going to zero. Zero. When it comes out, zero.
Yes, Bitcoin is going to zero. Oh no, what are we going to do? What we on do? Oh boy, we're going to talk about that and more in today's episode of Bitcoin and Ethereum. Bitcoin and Ethereum should not going to go to zero. Yes, some people think it will because they think that the United States government is going to regulate this thing to... Obviously, that's not going to happen. And some people feel that, you know what, it's all a scam. And we're going to talk about one of these people who feel it's all a scam and it's definitely going to zero in today's episode. All right, but before that, we're going to do some charts. We're going to take a look at the charts, see what's going on and what we should do about it. And how to handle the market volatility. Well, when the market starts to consolidate or go sideways, start to range, you have to identify that fast, because when you do that, right, you can actually profit during these consolidation phases. So what's that mean? Well, because this market's going to go through sideways action, chopping around here like crazy. For a while, we have to do our trading styles based on that event. And now that we've identified that, now we've created, you know, this lower high here almost. You could say it's not based on the 4 hour, but I don't know, depending on how you want to look at it on the hourly. It might be a little bit higher, or yeah, it's a little bit higher on the wicks, but you know, it's still a lower high or compared to even these ones, right? So we are still in a bearish kind of stance, but at the same time, this is us consolidating around the bottom. And when we consolidate like this, right, we could either do two things. We could either end up doing what this did, or we can go and make this the bottom, and then off we go. Two things. Those are the two things that could possibly happen in the next little while with Bitcoin. What are the odds of us continuing to dump? About 40%. What are the odds of us breaking higher? 60%. And if we go one way or the other, right? There's there's still percentage chance, right? We're going to be wrong no matter what choice we make. So we have to come up with, based on past performance, which way we are going to go, and we bet that side. And then if we're wrong, we only going to take a small loss on our portfolio, and that's how you trade. You don't trade any other way. You don't expect to be right all the time. You don't expect to be wrong all the time. Alrighty, so let's take a look. Well, you can see that for now we're headed downwards, right, to this consolidation area. We should see this thing probably slow down sometime soon, because we're just coming straight down like a rocket ship. Maybe this looks like a temporary bottom. We might bounce off of this. There it is, the 78.6, maybe. Or off of this level here, the 88.6. The reason why is because you see there's a little bit of a cheeky W there before we just blast it off, right? So that might be a retest of that breakout of level for that cheeky W. And if we do that and we break higher, so that would be something where you would trade on the shorter term time frame, this little level here, because there's a chance, right, at 19,200 that we're going to bounce from there, right, or compared to any other place. Now, no guarantees from the manager. Please do your own research before you put any money into the market. But yeah, that's what you would do at this point in time. You can't go and jump into a short here because that would be suicide. Suicide. But you can, observe if the market has turned around under lower time frames, and probably has not. Yes. And you can see 13 EMA. Oh, wow, look at that. Oof, right across. As soon as we broke down, it was game over, and then doom and gloom. Wow. Let's see if this is turning around anytime soon. Probably not. Yeah, there it is. Doesn't look like it's turning around anytime soon. Based on the indicators, yes, and you can see probably with the Rockin indicator that this is like a disaster on plus tax. Let's just bring it on home Rockin. Okay, let's see here. Yes, we are. This is a 15-minute. This is so rare to see the 15-minute just like go negative and not come back. On this is like on the Rockin is low. So yeah, it's serious downfall. Serious. So if we go to the hourly, you can probably see it clearly there as well. Wow. Whoosh. Flushing the toilet down. And yeah, we are bearish until this turns green. But then it's usually going to be bouncing around here when it finally does turn green. You won't get too much of a spike. Don't expect anything great because we are consolidating, going sideways, back and forth. So if you're interested in Rockin Brainer, you can head over to payments.rockinbrainer.io to get your copy of Rockin Brainer today. And yeah, that's all priced in Bitcoin. So let's see here. Is there a trade? There is no real trade to make because of all these scam wicks. You can't really. You could technically trade this, but you're gonna have to like suck up a lot of what's it called? Wait time, and you could be wrong. If you want to do it this way, right? Buying at the 78.6 or the 88.6, I would say the 78.6 all the way down to this breakdown period is a good choice. There's still a point where Bitcoin could break this, so if it does, what I suggest you do is reset your buy order down, because it's probably not going to break down just yet. And so there's a high probability that it's just going to consolidate a longer time. So buying down here would be also a good place, but also, setting your stop loss, taking a loss, and then just examining how the trade is going whilst it's breaking down lower here, to see if you can buy this thing. Because honestly, there's the odds of us breaking one way or the other in the next little while is slim to none, in my opinion. It's still possible, just not likely. That we're gonna head sideways and create some sort of wedge triangle or something like that before we actually break out. Right? We're gonna have to punish these, punish the longs, right? The long-term longs for a while. So this is their punishment. They're gonna be sticking here in this range for a while and feeling the pain. And before we either make a choice going up or down. So most likely to get people to like loosen up their Bitcoins and sell. Sell them low, because hey, it looks like it's gonna probably look more and more like the last consolidation phase, and convince most hodlers that hey, there's more downside to go. So, and there may not be, right? So consider that. Okay, let's head over to Ethereum and see what's going on there. Yeah, we have like Ethereum doing the exact same thing. We're just creating some, you know, higher lows, right? Trying to figure out what to do. We're stuck in this range, and we're probably going to be bouncing around in a range for quite some time until we see, like, you know, the trend start to appear. So it might be starting right here, right? But we just don't know that just yet. So, and continuing like this, but a trend will appear, and Ethereum will act accordingly, and you can trade that easily, right? So we can trade that, but you know, not that easily, because, you know, Ethereum more so than Bitcoin loves to like wick you out and get you in trouble. So zooming in on this, we can see, let's just do some Fibonacci levels. You can see the 78.6, this target right here is probably going to get taken out right here. If you're long, you're probably going to get wiped out there. So if you're longing it, it's probably looking to eat your long at that level, at the 1029-ish area. Is where it's looking to like chomp your short, your stop loss. So stop runs are coming. Right around here is where you would try to buy the $10,330 level, and try to, you know, see if a stop loss is at the 996. Maybe you want to go a little bit lower than that, because did it go lower? No, I'll leave it at that. But for the sideways action, I think we could probably see Bitcoin break higher here. Okay, so with that said, let's head over to the dominance. Wow, the dominance has fallen and consolidated. Amazingly enough, I was not expecting that, but at the same time, you can see that very few coins have made you know, double, and you would have to hit the exact bottom. So you would have made more Bitcoin, but there's a small problem. You wouldn't have made more dollars right now in your alts, right? You probably would have made a little bit more Bitcoin, not a whole lot, right? Because a lot of them did not double. And then you would have had to choose the exact bottom to get that double. All right. Let's head over to the news that you can use, right, on Bitcoin. So, the man who says Bitcoin's going to zero, same with Ethereum, Peter Schiff of Euro-specific bank suspended by Puerto Rico's regulators. Schiff insists no evidence of a crime. Well, Mr. Schiff, I don't know if you know this. I know that you're an honest person. I don't think you probably did anything wrong over at the bank there. But, you know, banking is not about being honest. Just so you know. Right? And they frown upon that. I'm surprised you hadn't figured that out, right? So Peter Schiff has his own bank, right? And I'm a little surprised, right? That there's like, here's the thing. He goes on. Let's see. I should have highlighted it. He goes on and mentions that the order claims a cease and desist order. Blah blah blah. Your serious insolvency situation for sufficient legal justifications. Okay, so they're saying that they're insolvent, right? And I'm like, what? The reason why I wanted a Euro-specific bank account, and thank God I didn't get one, because they're rude, they're horrible, nasty. towards people, right? To get a bank account there. And I appreciate that because now I don't have a bank account there. One of the reasons why I wanted to have one, transactions, right? Is because they're supposed to have 100% capital reserves, right? And I'm trying to find where he mentions that. There it is. I have a buyer. There it is. I should have highlighted it. I have a buyer, but the regulators won't let me sell it, Schiff tweeted, claiming that the buyer is highly qualified and promises to inject capital that far exceeds the regulators' minimums. Mr. Schiff, I could have swore, that you would advertise that your bank was 100% capitalized on its capital. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you decided to go full bore on that, right? And 10% reserves or like 0% reserves because, hey, that's what every other bank is doing, right? And the problem by doing that is that, they don't like you. The bank doesn't like you because you keep talking about how they are screwing people over. And they kind of frown upon that. Oh my God, if I was running a bank, which I never would do, I would be here on YouTube telling you not to trust the banks. Why is that? Because they'll all double team me to hurt me. That's just logic. Okay? Just logic that they're going to do that. Right? So that's what's happened to you. Right? That's what's happening to you. And I'm sure you're like, no, it's conspiracy. All right. All right. Believe what you want, right? But yeah, that's what's happening, right? Unless you play the ball, right, with the banking system, you're not going to win. FTX is playing ball, and that's why they're doing so well, right? They're all sucking off the teat of the banking system. Anybody who does well, so probably even Tether is sucking off the teat, right, of the banking system. Saying, yeah, we'll comply, whatever you want, do whatever you want, right? And this is why they're still alive. And that means no talking bad about them. Just saying. Just saying. All right. The Bitcoin tourists have purged. Only hodlers remain in Glassnode, right? So Glassnode is a place where you can find on-chain analysis and so forth. So supposedly Glassnode is saying that, all the hodlers, all the tourists, they've left the Bitcoin space. Not surprised. The ones who just bought in for a short term, they've sold out and left. And people who believe are gonna, buy the dips, buy and hold, look for opportunities to get into Bitcoin at low prices, and hold it for the day that it becomes money. Because although this man over here might say, Peter Schiff might say, this old man might say, it's going to zero. It isn't. Because it's a new invention that was never thought possible. And that's why it's not going to zero. Right? It's going to be a hero and make you lots of money or wealth in the future if you hold on to Bitcoins. Mad Money Jim Cramer's emulation shows that Fed's job to tame inflation is almost complete. Oh my goodness. So what does this mean, really, right? That's what you need to read between the lines and find out what it really means. It means that this guy's saying, the Fed is going to start printing money again, And prices are going to go up sometime soon. So you don't have to worry. Ah, man. Cramer. Why do you have to do that? Why do you have to come out and do that for? What? We know that we have to go trade the opposite of that. Why? Why can't you come out and be straightforward and say something like, oh yeah, man, Bitcoin and Ethereum going to zero. At least we started to have a chance, clear chance to say, okay, Bitcoin is going up now. But no, you have to do that. You have to go out there. Cramer points out that the crypto sector has suffered major blows in the recent weeks, citing that some major crypto companies are facing solvency crisis, while some are laying off employees. He cautioned that investors about crypto lenders that offer outrageous returns. Yes. Okay. Great. Thank you very much. Oh boy. So, well, you know, it's a sad situation. He recently said that he expects Bitcoin to we are saved. Saved by the bell. Okay, cryptocurrencies of all kinds are still cascading with no real bottom in sight. Cramer claimed that, noting that crypto is the opposite of stable hold of value, he recently said that he expects Bitcoin to fall to 12K. Okay, remember what I said about Bitcoin breaking down to the 12K or 13K or whatever it is, or breaking about the odds of that would being like 40%. I mean, Cramer's claims, right? Right there of 12K just reduced that significantly. So I would have to reduce it by 30% now. So it's a 70% chance we're going up. So it doesn't mean that, you know, Cramer's always wrong, right? Because he's not always wrong. But, you know, this is always a positive sign when he says something like this, right? That, you know, when he gives a definitive answer and it's clear, you know that the opposite is true. Well, for sure, we're never seeing 12K. That's never happening. That's a bonus, right? We're never seeing 12K. 100%, right? That's thanks to Cramer here. Thank you, Cramer. Really appreciate that. May you make some more claims, negative claims about Bitcoin in the future, so that we can all live happily ever after. Well, if you enjoyed today's episode, make sure you hit the like, make sure you hit the subscribe, right? Make sure you get some Bitcoin, because hey, we now know Bitcoin's going to the moon eventually. But it's definitely turning around here. This is where you start, dollar cost averaging right here, right now. Can it go to like 15K or something like that? Yes. But it'll probably only do that for a short time, and then we're bouncing back up. So you could always, put some, buy orders all the way down to 15K. But I wouldn't bother with 12K. There's no chance of that. And then you can hold your Bitcoin, right, until the day that, becomes money, because it will be money one day. And there is no stopping it. There is no Peter Schiff, no government, no entity on this planet that's going to stop Bitcoin from being money. So make sure you be a part of it. Thanks for watching. Cheers.